Hey fashionistas, how is it going? Oh, I am loving this weather. Are you loving this weather? It's been such a crazy winter and we're so grateful to finally be having some warm summery days. I walked to the bank today in my tank top and I didn't even need to put an extra jacket on or even a cardigan over the top. I was like, yes, this is amazing. So tonight we are starting a brand new Wednesday wardrobing series called Loving Your Laundry. And I named it that because I don't know about you, but I actually have a huge sense of excitement when I wash something and it comes out beautifully, where I'm just like, wow, that looks as good as it did the day that I bought it. I get excited about that. And that makes me love doing laundry as opposed to the times when I wash and dry something and it comes out and it's a mess. And I have to iron it, or I have to try to re-dry it or something like that to try to make it wearable. That is frustrating for me. That makes me not love doing laundry. So that's why I'm calling this series Loving Your Laundry, because we're going to be talking all about quality, how to, and that's what tonight is about, how to spot quality when you're shopping for clothing. We're going to be talking about how to care for quality fabrics. So we're going to be talking about actually doing laundry and how you should be spot removing, how you should be washing, how you should be drying, some tips and tricks for that. This whole month is going to be focused around topics like that. So tonight we are going to dive into how to spot quality. And you know, whenever you're talking about the one, you also have to talk about the opposite, right? So you spot quality by knowing what lack of quality looks like. So we're going to be talking about both of those things. So in this modern society of our kind of throwaway mentality, where we've really gotten away from expecting things to last a long time, and going for maybe the cheapest item that is, you know, something that we can have now and we're completely fine if we wear it a few times and then throw it away because we didn't spend a lot of money on it anyway. With that mentality, we have, I think, lost some sense of how to appreciate quality and then how to look for it as well. And that is called fast fashion. That whole mentality, the H&Ms of the world, the Sheins, you know, $10, $5, $15, you know, it's cheap, it's fast, it's easy. You just walk in, you buy it. You don't have to worry about it too much because you're not spending a lot of money and you don't expect to get a lot out of it. And that is a whole category of fashion right now and of shopping right now. But we still have quality clothing manufacturers that are using good quality fabrics, that are producing good well-constructed items. And if you are interested in buying quality, I think you should always buy the best quality you can afford. Whatever that level is for you, you should buy the best quality that you can afford, because you are going to get more out of that item. You're going to like it longer. It's going to fit better. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have it longer in your closet than something that is of poor quality. So how do we spot good quality? Well, first and foremost, you feel the fabric, because good fabrics are going to be weighty fabrics. They are going to have some hand, that's what we call it in the industry. They have a good hand, which means that when I put it in my hand, I can feel that it has some beefiness to it. I can feel that it's soft. I can feel that it has stretch. And if you give yourself the opportunity of putting in your hand a low quality product and in the other hand a high quality product, you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. When I buy, and this is something I learned from my mom, the very first market I ever went to, one of the first things that we do when the vendor puts the clothing, the item that we're considering in front of us, they lay it on the table, is we touch the fabric, feel the fabric, put it in our hand. And that is a great way to find quality. It's the easiest and simplest way. Because fabric matters. We spent a lot of time talking last series in our Dress Your Body Type series about how important choosing quality fabrics are, especially when you are dressing a portion of your body where you have figure flaws that you're trying to hide, because better quality fabrics are going to have better weight, better drape, less cling, and they're going to look better. They're going to do a better job of hiding or camouflaging parts of your body that you want to camouflage. So quality matters. We're going to spend one of these series, I'm going to take a whole series and talk about fabrics, synthetic fabrics and natural fabrics. So I'm not going to do that a lot tonight, but be looking for that sometime this month. Probably will be video 3. Maybe video 2. I might do it next week. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But it'll be part of this series. We'll talk about what is rayon, what is polyester, what is tencel, what is elastane, what's the difference between spandex and elastane. We'll just kind of dive into fabrics a little bit. And I think that's really important because it is a big part of understanding quality, is being able to read your fabric. Just like you read your food labels, you need to read your clothing labels because they will tell you a lot about the quality of the item. So fabric really matters, and I want you to start experimenting with this idea of the hand of a fabric, and start putting fabrics in your hand and feeling them, and just start to understand the difference in different fabrics and how they feel in your hand. The next is construction matters. So this is probably the biggest area where you will spot poor quality, is when you start to pay attention to construction. So you want to look for seams that pucker. So as you are looking, at the garment and you are examining the seam on the side, does it come together nicely? Or is it puckered? Does it pucker up as it's going down? Puckering is a classic sign of poorly constructed garments. You also want to pay attention to your linings. A lot of times when something is lined, people think, oh, it's lined, it's good quality. Well, that is true. And generally you're going to pay more for a lined item than an unlined item because it's going to fit better, it's going to hang better. But you can see when you look at a lining, a lot of times puckering and problems with the way that the lining was put into the garment. So start paying attention to that. Start paying attention to puckering seams, especially on the sides, especially on the interior of an item. You also want to pay attention to a whole bunch of random strings, or even like, I always say it's when the sewing machine threw up. Like they were going da 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 da, and then the sewing machine got hung up, and it just like spits out this whole massive amount of fabric or of thread. And in a poorly constructed item, they will not take the time to cut that off. They will just send it out the door with that massive amount of string. It's still attached to the seam, generally on the inside. They'll usually cut those kinds of things out on the outside, but you'll see them on the inside. So if you're seeing a lot of random strings hanging everywhere, you need to examine those seams and see if there's a poorly sewn seam, or that massive amount of string meant that the sewing machine skipped and it's so, not sewn, so, right? These are things to look for when you are examining quality. You also want to look for the way that zippers are sewn in. Are they straight? Are the teeth perfectly together, or is the zipper in there cockeyed? Are the buttons sewn on? So when you look at a button, is it hanging? Oh, sorry, this tag is being a pain. So when you look at a button, is it hanging half off the garment, or can you tug on it, and does it feel like it's very well attached? That's a great way to look for quality, because oftentimes in poorer quality things, you're going to notice loose buttons, buttons that are barely on. You might notice that buttonholes are too small, so take the time to unbutton and rebutton an item. You should be able to easily and quickly button and unbutton. That means that the button matches the buttonhole, that the buttonhole is the correct size for the button, and that the button is securely attached. So we have puckering sleeves, we have, puckering seams, we have strings, we have how are the buttons sewn on, we have print matchup. One of the critical ways, actually this is a really good example, this one. One of the fastest ways that you can tell about quality is how the pattern comes together at the seam. So this is a striped dress, and striped dresses, our striped items, are particularly good for this, because a higher quality item, the seamstress will take time to make sure, maybe not that the stripes are matched up completely, but they are darn close. So you can see that they have done a pretty good job of matching up those stripes as they're coming around the garment. A classic example of a poorly constructed garment will be one stripe on the front is here and the matching stripe is down here. So everything is completely cattywonker on the side. That's a classic sign of poor quality. And even in a non-matching item where the stripes aren't going around, does it look like the seamstress tried to do a good job of matching up that fabric? So you can see this one is a blue stripe followed by a gray stripe followed by a blue stripe, and you can see as this blouse comes together on the side, it's not perfect, but there was obviously effort taken in trying to make that look as good as possible and not all crazy on the sides where those patterns match up. So matching up patterns, liners, zippers, seams, puckered seams, trying to think if there's any other fabrics that easily wrinkle. So like obviously if you are looking at a linen item and you ball it up in your hand like this and you hold it long enough for you to feel the heat that your hand is producing in that fabric, and then you let it go. Now obviously linen is going to wrinkle because it's supposed to, but when you look at synthetic fabrics that aren't supposed to wrinkle, like polyesters and things like that, and you do the wrinkle test, I call it the wrinkle test, in poorer quality fabrics, you're going to notice 3 times as many wrinkles as you will with better quality fabrics. Also, the better quality fabric, you'll be able to brush out a lot of the wrinkles, whereas the poorer quality fabric, the wrinkles will not come out. And to get them out, you're actually going to have to steam or iron that garment. That's another important sign of quality. Okay. So the next thing we have done, we've talked about that fabric matters, we've talked about that construction matters, and the last thing is that details matter. So when you are comparing apples to apples and you are looking at the same quality construction, the same quality fabric, what separates items then after that point is the amount of detail that is included in the garment. So detail could be things like beautiful little buttons, okay? So instead of just slapping some cheap pearl buttons on there, they took the time to choose wooden buttons, which just add a whole nother element of classiness to this linen skirt. So you have, you know, this whole linen feel. It's natural, it's earthy, it's very classic. And then you've got the wooden buttons on it, which just take that to a whole nother level. So small little details like that matter, and they are the difference between a lot of times a $90 shirt and a $50 shirt. The other thing, tabbed sleeves. Features that allow you to wear something different ways. So this blouse, for example, it has the long sleeve option, which I can wear if I prefer it, or it offers me a tab sleeve option so that if I'm one who doesn't like long sleeves or I like a little bit shorter sleeve, I have the option of choosing which way I wear it. If it gives you options, if it gives you features and different benefits, that is also going to separate it from its partner. Other things are like this little tank. So it's bra friendly. Bra friendly is a huge feature that separates the less expensive from the more expensive, because the bra friendly straps, obviously you're not going to have to get a special bra to wear them. A neckline that isn't showing cleavage or things like that. Little details like an extra layer at the bottom and tiny little fringe details at the bottom. Those are great examples of that little bit of extra attention to detail that separate price points when you're looking at items. Here's another example. So they could have just made this a little tee, right? Wouldn't be necessary to have embellished the sleeves like they did, but look what they did. So this little sleeve is smocked on the top. So you've got that cute little smocking. Then you have a tiered sleeve and a little flutter sleeve all coming together on that sleeve. And then this cute little tie front with the ruffle. Those are all details that in this item, if it was the same quality of fabric, same quality of construction, the less expensive version of it would just be a plain sleeve. It wouldn't have all those extra details. So when you're judging, why is this top 60 and this top 40? If everything else is equal, those are the kinds of things that you need to consider. What are the extra special details that make this top unique? Because at some point when we're paying for clothing, once we get up into a little bit better quality, we are paying for uniqueness. We don't want to look like everybody else. That's why we shop places where we can get clothing that is a little bit different, a little bit unique, and a little bit more distinctive than your Kohl's or Marshall's or Walmart's or wherever else you might get mass-produced products. Here's another example. This is a Simply top, and it's a reversible neck. So you can wear it V-neck, or you can wear it round neck. So it gives you the choice. Do you prefer a V-neck or do you prefer a round neck? If you're busty, you probably prefer a V-neck. So in this one top, you have the option to wear it either way. That is a value producing thing. Here's another example. This little dress is reversible back to solid black. So in one dress, you have a printed dress and you have a solid basic black dress. Again, adding value because you basically have a 2-for-1. This also has pockets. That's another thing in this dress, with all things being equal. If you had the same fabric, same quality of fabric, same quality of construction, and you didn't have pockets, it would be less expensive because pockets take more time to put in. And then here's my last example of one of those items that their convertibility adds value and also cost, because you're getting more than one way to wear it. So this little dress, these straps detach. They're just on there with little hooks. So you can wear it as a tube dress with straps, or you can detach these straps and wear it as a skirt. So if you're traveling, you have a 2-for-1, and they've thought through that whole process by making adjustable straps, which is another added feature, because then you can let the dress sit where you want it depending on your height of your torso and how much distance you have between your neck and your bust. Adjustable straps, another quality kind of thing. Or removing the straps and being able to wear it as a skirt. So these are the details that start differentiating between price when all other things are equal. So as you're looking, you're looking at your fabric quality, and is it light to a really light fabric, scratchy, itchy, see-through, all of those kinds of things, versus is it a nicer quality fabric that's softer, that's heavier, that has a little natural stretch, that has a nice drape on the body as opposed to clinging on the body. So that's your first area of examination. Then your second area of examination is construction, and you're going to look at all of those different things that I brought up. And then your third area is level of detail, and that's where you're going to start to see price differences when everything else is equal, but this is more expensive and this is less expensive, and you want to understand why. Why is this $20 more than this? Well, it's because of some of those features that have been included in addition to the fabric, in addition to the construction. And when all of those things come together, then you are really dealing with a quality product. All right, I hope that helps. Hello, Eileen. Hello, Nita. Hey, how are you? Good, thank you. I'm working hard to keep up the good work. Do you girls have any questions before I hop off? I know you jumped on somewhere in the middle of this, so you're going to have to go back and watch it from the start. But just in the part that you heard, do you have any questions that I can answer? We are celebrating our 49th year in business starting tomorrow. So we have some amazing things planned, some amazing giveaways. I have like 4 different hobo bags. I have spa kits. I have some fragrance. I have a Simply top. What else do I have? I have a collagen mask from Senegence. Tons of great giveaways that we're doing for that anniversary sale. So I hope that you can get down and shop with us. No questions. Okay. Alrighty, tomorrow's live sale is going, because I know both of you guys watch it, that is going to be broadcast on our Facebook business page, the Fashion Crossroads business page, instead of in the group. So go look for it there. We'll share it to the group, but I just don't want you to be confused. We did learn that if you post your live videos like that on Facebook on your business page, they will show it to other people, versus in your group they won't. So it's to our benefit to post it on our business page. So we are going to move that live sale over there. So just make sure you know where to go look for it. Yay, Nita, I would love to see you on Saturday. It's been a long time. Okay, girls, have a great night. Talk to you later.